That was Creep. What a fucking track. What a band.
man. Absolutely.
And yeah, and they're just. I can't wait to hear what comes out with them next, and it's gonna be just like you said. That new stuff was class. So looking
Like, I
forward.
think any band that kind of grows, and like it happens even with us, like you find your groove eventually and just kind of go into it, and they've so gone into it and it's so
Yeah.
good and everything's just there. Really excited to hear anything that comes from them.
Yeah, and as well as that, Jason has gotten behind the guitar now full time as well. So he's added,
Oh, no way.
to the live thing.
Jeez, that's gonna be heavy. Nice and
Oh,
heavy.
it's heft. It's great. Like, it just adds to it.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't think it. It makes such a difference, but then just it just does. It
Yeah,
really does.
absolutely. I mean, now, so let's talk about the artwork actually from the album
Yeah,
cover. We
absolutely.
haven't spoke about that enough at all,
Well,
really.
look, the interesting thing about the artwork and just the overall thing, like when we say All Ireland Metal Project, it means All Ireland Metal Project. It means that everyone in every aspect of it was involved. And how the actual artwork. So we have different teams, right? Obviously,
Yeah.
and not only so there's the documentary team, there's the media team, there's the art team, and then there's also like the actual like musicians and teams.
Yeah.
But
The
but
real
like
teams.
well, no man, come on,
Joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Come on. Send your hate mail to Carl.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, what's cool about this, man, is like initially when I started this thing, and even to this day, it's still very hard for me to not do it. I'm used to doing everything by myself, and only in Horrenda recently have the lads been like, we're doing other stuff too, as far as like the merch and all that kind of stuff. So I kind
Yeah.
of had to like give up that control. You know yourself, man. Like
Yeah.
you're so used to doing it, you're like no. So with this, I kind of took the same approach where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do it so it gets done. And then I realized, wait, everyone in this project is like the doers of the bands. They're the folks that get stuff done or push or the main creative force in their bands.
Yeah.
So why not just let them do what they're doing because they know what they're doing, which is great, and that's how the tracks happen. But I didn't realize that was also the case with like artwork and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So initially there was some rough artwork, which anyone follow the socials they saw. And artwork is a very, very loose term for what that was. But Shannon did a cool one, and that was there for a while, and that was a lot better than what I had done. But we had an artwork team, and like the lads on the team, it kind of naturally started happening where bits and pieces would come, and that's you've seen what kind of happened on that. You saw what result of that. But like Kieran, Colin, and Stephen Stephen worked on this specific one, the overall cover, and there are a couple of other folks on the team that will kind of do more, but on this specific one, the three lads worked on it.
Yeah.
Now Colin from Zora, like he literally was like, I'm doing this, I'm leading this team. He came to me and I was like, dude, absolutely, go for it. And he's been like such a huge help to kind of do this, and a lot going forward, like he's going to be all over this. But it's amazing really when you think about it that like we have such talented people all across the board working on this. Not only working on this, but like working in general on the scene, but never came together in the same way, for a number of reasons. Like a lot of people are saying, oh, Horrendous should work with Colin, but I didn't know Colin. I didn't know the Zora lads, and now I know all of them. It's weird. I just didn't know them.
Yeah.
And that's just crazy, man. So like the artwork is class. Kieran, who I've worked with a fair bit now at this point. He did the actual painting, and then Stephen came in on the logo with Colin. Colin did the outline and the proper indentation, and then the stuff for the thumbnails and the socials, and it looks class.
It does.
It
It's
really
beautiful.
does. They did. Oh man, they did a great job. But like you know, once I saw the artwork coming in, I'm like, oh crap, this better be good. Like this album better be good. You know, it's like, yeah, it's the same kind of thing because you're like, you don't want to have the cool art and then it being lame, and then the tracks start coming in. Well, we did Fear Gurtha first, and I was like, okay, right, well, at least I know,
One
you know,
track will be on it.
yeah, you know, we did a pretty cool black metal track, and I'm proud of it. But when other tracks came in, I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is awesome. It's fitting, you know,
Yeah,
because you know when it's kind of like it goes both ways, you know, where you're like you gotta have the cool artwork, but it can't just be all the cool artwork. It needs to be like cool substance as well.
yeah,
And Holy Hell is an album like this, has so much substance in it.
yeah,
Like, you know, we were kind of talking a little bit before, but like every single track that you listen to has its own kind of spin, has its own take on something, has its
yeah,
own feel. And like, there hasn't one track that I've heard and it's like, oh, that's pretty crap. You
yeah.
know,
I'd be the same. We've obviously heard them all as well so far, and I just like, this is gonna kick ass. This is gonna kick people's ass. Like it really
oh
is.
man, absolutely. Like in the one sense as well, it's like, you know, we couldn't gig, we can't gig. We also
Yeah,
can't release music the same way as we would. So this is kind of like all of us coming together and using all our resources, and you know, there's loads of different studios involved in this as well.
yeah,
Like Alan from Zora is working on the mixing team. Same with Josh. Both those lads are doing so much work. It's
yeah.
unbelievable to make this
Fair
happen.
play to them.
They're honestly like, you know, all thanks goes to those lads because they're doing it.
Yeah,
And Shannon is it's gonna jump wearing loads of hats. Like if people think it's all just me, fucking no. It's like Shannon is doing pretty much just as much as I am
yeah,
in different ways, as are you, Carl. You know, and then we have like, you know, Tony's keep making stuff go, and
yeah.
Lisa's jumping on and doing this, and Carl's pushing here. You know, if it wasn't for people who had involved with this wouldn't have moved. You know,
That's it.
and
Yeah,
I'm happy to talk about it because I kind of get to see all of it, but it's not just me. Because if it was just me, it would just be me, and it's not. You know, but man, like, you know, I remember like Mark shows up and he goes, "Hey man, have a look at my track." I'm like, "All right, right on." Listen to the track, and I turn to him, I'm like, "Where the fuck was that with Horrenda?" You know, and I was like, he goes, "Do you like it?" I'm like, "Of course I like it. It's deadly." I'm like, "Why didn't you like show me this like a couple of months ago?" You know, and you know, it's funny because that's what a lot of people in their bands have been saying to lads, going, "Where was this? Why didn't we do this?" You know,
yeah,
and it's cool. And that's one thing that happens with side projects. You know,
yeah.
you explore these new things, these new ways of writing that you can bring in. And like, I really like their track Gorgo. I think it's class. I also didn't realize
It's
like the
amazing.
singer from Awaken Dominion was in it
Yeah,
until I met
yeah,
him Saturday. I was like, oh my god, I haven't seen you in like 10 years.
yeah.
It was
It's good to
wild.
see him back. Actually, yeah,
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, it's cool, man. You know, and it's like, even for someone like you and me who's on this, who's like at the admin level, like
yeah.
having the oversight of it, that we're being surprised.
I know.
You know, that's what I mean. Like, it's so wild that we are being surprised at this.
Yeah,
You
but
know, like
that's what we wanted. Though we wanted to feel like that.
oh no, this is what I prayed for. This is what
Yeah,
I believed would happen. That
yeah,
I would completely blow past my expectations.
yeah,
Now I had very high expectations from people anyway, because people are on there like, these are crazy talented musicians, crazy talented artists,
yeah.
really, really better musicians than me, right? Absolutely, I'll be the 101st person to say it. Better songwriters than me, but could they do it together? What would happen if they were away from their bands or whatever? Like,
Yeah,
absolutely, you know, throw it all together and mixing it in and bringing different strengths. Man, it's class. You know, it's super
yeah.
cool. And
It really,
you know
really
what?
is.
I'm looking forward to when at the end of this month, because we are coming up to the end of this month. Where, and here's the thing, like, not only are they like, not only are they like, would I consider these better musicians than me, I'm inspired by a lot of these people. These people inspire me to get better.
Yeah,
And you know, I want to work with people who I admire. And when I say something, I actually like something, it's, I
you like it.
genuinely do,
Yeah,
or it wouldn't bother me ears. You know, it's like, and
yeah,
it's not being an arsehole. It's just like, I don't believe in bullshitting people.
yeah. I'm the
You know,
same,
I don't.
man. If I hear a song that maybe doesn't have someone on it yet, and like, like as I was saying to you, like, and the perfect example, and I know I keep going back to, is the likes of Horrenda and
Mm,
Tomas with what's his name, Farasi Nigua, or whatever it's called.
yeah,
His
it is bad.
Yeah, that's the kind of black metal I would work with.
Yeah.
And that's totally out of my comfort zone. But like,
Well, you know, it's one of the skills to learn is like taking criticism.
yeah,
And one of the skills to learn is also kind of saying, well, where can you get better? And like bands at the end of the day are all about working on each other's strengths to bring everyone up, right? And that's
yeah,
kind of how I see the scene as well. And hopefully this does that, where we all raise each other up and we all are brought up at the same level, because that's what like the lads in Sweden have done. That's what the lads in Norway have done. Well, no, not really, but you know what I mean.
no,
Maybe not Norway, but definitely in Finland, Sweden, and like America or whatever. They have their own scenes, and they usually bring everybody else up. And for some
yeah,
reason in Ireland, that just wasn't a thing. You know, you see pockets out in Cork and you see pockets out in Limerick or whatever.
mm,
But like the only time we'd ever like think to hang out would be in Siege. You
yeah,
know, we
yeah.
didn't just think, hey man, let's just like make music or you know do a track
Well,
or
here's
whatever. You know,
hoping that the next group of people will take the ball and run with this and actually make another 2 or 3 or 4 projects with this. You
well,
know?
look, okay. Let's address the elephant in the room. Will this happen again? I don't know. How I would see it happening again though is obviously there's no COVID, right? So this was done in COVID times under
Yeah,
COVID circumstances, where we're recording at home, maybe in a studio, maybe not. But 9 times out of 10, we all have decent enough equipment to be able to get studio level
yeah,
quality to some extent when Alan, Shannon, or Josh are able to get on and do their absolute wizardry on it, right? But and also Jeff Hernandez from Saint Slaughter, he was mixing on this. I didn't realize he was working
I
on it.
only
So fair
found that
play
out
to him, man. I
yesterday.
didn't even realize Jeff was working on it. So hey, Jeff. And you know, so obviously in the future you wouldn't be dealing with that. The way I would see it is, you know, what, a month you just
Yeah,
start going into real world environments and going and booking studio time. Like that's how I would do it again. If I was to do this
yeah,
from scratch, um, I would book studio time and literally just work with the people there.
yeah. And I
And
think I
I
mean
think that's how they'll do it.
yeah, and I mean we've now laid, I suppose, a blueprint for the future. Really, if people do want to do it, they can come and ask any of us now if we're not involved with it and say,
Yeah,
well, how did you do such and such a thing? And
yeah,
we're quite happy to turn around and say, well, this is how we did it. Maybe you do it differently or do it the same. It's up to you. But it'll be
yeah,
there for consumption and it'll be there for as a learning tool as well. Like
yeah,
it goes so far past
yeah,
just an album.
yeah.
It's, as I said, it's a learning tool. It's a document of a certain time in our country, really.
But
Uh,
that's the thing, and that's why I'm hesitant to say, "Oh, we make this a yearly thing," because
mm,
this one specifically, its goal is to revive the scene and
yeah,
fundamentally recraft the scene into something that's more collaborative, that's something
yeah,
that's more open to, as much lame as sounds, to everybody, right? Where
yeah,
it's just like not just, I know that lad from Fibbers, he's
yeah,
cool
yeah.
because I saw his band play and I like his band,
I'm
you know?
hoping it'll give people I don't want to say courage, but or maybe the moxie to on their socials even. It doesn't matter to say, here's a riff we wrote. Does anyone want to write or like,
That's what I'm hoping
yeah.
too.
So
That's what I'm
that's
hoping to.
and then I
Yeah.
think that will give the scene an even more lease of life,
Because
and
you
in
do
a
look,
different way.
well, look, what, look, you know yourself in the scene, in a typical band format or in a scene, right? There's one drummer, he's in 15 bands,
Yes.
and one of them is his main band, right?
Yes.
And that was kind of the problem. So the only time you would play music would be in that, and it gets muddy, or
Yeah.
gets a girlfriend, or all this kind of stuff happens, and then
Yeah.
it's just like, right on, like it's not going to work. But now the fact that people are like, oh, I can just make an album and there is a reason for it. Now the only thing I would say is, and people are like, well, what's the point of making music if no one's going to listen to it? People listen to it. But
Absolutely.
also, if there is this kind of overarching thing where it's like there's a call for tracks or a call for whatever, someone grabs it, and it kind of brings everyone together to do it at a specific point or for a specific reason.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing to do. And how that looks like, I don't know. As I said, I don't really have a desire to do this again, because
Yeah.
I one there's many reasons why I don't want to do it again. the main reason is it's lightning in a jar.
Yeah.
And I believe this, as you said, it captures a moment in time
Yeah.
where we lost everything, and we came together to show that the Irish scene is not dead, that it's not gigs and fibbers, it's
Yeah.
not gigs once or twice thing. It's stronger than that. We are the scene, and no matter what happens, we're still going to be there if we can gig or not. If we can get
Absolutely.
out of our houses or not,
Yeah.
we're still there. And that's more important. And I know I'm not picking on fibbers. Look, I love fibbers, right? But I mean, you know, when you can't gig in those places, or can't gig anywhere,
Yeah.
you know, Fred's, fucking Grand Social, On the Rocks, whatever, and you can't gig anywhere, that the scene still survives, it still endeavors, and there are people who still want to make music.
Yeah.
And every single one of them, all those people, against all the odds, against all the people saying it was stupid or whatever, got together, wrote tracks, recorded them in a lot of cases themselves, and made probably some of the best metal tracks that you'll hear in
Yeah.
the last 5 years.
Absolutely.
And I say that with no disrespect to
Yeah, I know
anyone.
you don't. Yeah, I
To
agree
anyone.
with you. I absolutely agree with you, man. It's
You know,
what we.
that's how good they are, man. That's how
Yeah.
good they are. And I'm not saying it because I'm involved, because I'm not involved in all of them. Fucking didn't even know they were that good until I started listening to them. Like, holy crap!
I remember.
Right?
I
Like,
remember every reaction you have when you hear the track. It's like, oh,
Like,
jeez.
oh
I
man,
know.
all of Saturday, like literally, Lisa's track was in my head the whole time.
Yeah, there's
Because
certain
anyone
parts
brings it
of
up,
it.
I just
Yeah.
just certain parts of it just hook you the whole way. The Morgan track that the girls did is ridiculously good. You know,
you see the reactions.
It's just crazy. You know, Shannon sent me a track to work on. It's like proper tech metal, dead metal track. And I'm like, oh, right on. Starting a bass track, and I'm like, oh, I can play bass again. Whoa, I can really play bass. Didn't know I could do that. I'm listening to it, sends me this edit. I'm like, holy crap, you know. And it's this kind of stuff where you're like, you're constantly shocked, and you're constantly surprised by it.
Yeah.
And anyone's track is on that, you know. As I said, the track that the lads worked on, Sean Dahi and Tom. You know, when I heard Tom's drums, I was like,
Yeah.
holy crap, that's amazing. You know, Necro Terror, obviously. Odyssey, like CJ's tracks as well are just so great because that guy's just so ridiculously talented. Removing Torrents is super fun. The Scythian Task, I didn't expect anything, you know, but incredible, and it is, you know, and it just goes on and on and on. Your track, Gemini Lounge, man, like, come on, it's great. Three totally different vocal styles on top of this really riffy song with a cool solo, and this is only what we have so far. We have so much more coming. I wrote the blackest black metal song on top of the most blackest black metal song with Tomas. You know, he sent me this track. I worked on it. We wrote it together. It's class, you know, and it's like, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that's all we have so far. We have so much more coming. And from what I'm getting from other people, strap in. And then we have some surprises as well.
Ooh.
Biggies, which I don't want to ruin, but
no,
it's great.
Don't.
I'm honestly not. Because if I did, I think it would be unfair to everybody. But when I posted the idea, I was like, hey, everyone jumped on it, and
it was
everyone
gobbled
loved
up,
it.
wasn't it?
Oh man, I like, look, when I was just like, yeah, people are gonna go for this. They're gonna be like, yeah, there, fuck off. No, fighting over bits. It's just
I mean, going on the banter on the chat group, I think it was obvious it was going to be gobbled up because everyone on the chat group is great fun. Like, you know,
I love the reaction. It's just like, I've waited like 20 years of my musical career for this single moment. I'm like, that's amazing. But it's fitting, you know, because, like, you know, at the end of the day, like, this is fun for us too. And, you know, like, what I got from Saturday was like, yeah, of course everyone's sound, because, like, you know them from the chat, you know. But man, it's great, you know, and it's a nice sense of finality as well to kind of do this month extension and you know, get these little, get not only like the tracks, the outliers or the stragglers, including my own. Like, I've, I think, 2 or 3 tracks left to do that are in different stages, but like other people have like other tracks as well that just aren't done or want to kind of grow, and that was us. We were like, no, we need to really fix this, and but also kind of do these little extras. So, you know,
it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it.
Man, I don't know how many we're going to have, you know, and I some people are probably going to have that question, you know, how many tracks are going to be on it. I don't know.
Are you talking about on the Shuri itself?
On Aiseiri itself, yeah. Like basically, like, Aiseiri is the first album as such.
Yeah.
Now, whether that be a 30-track album,
Well,
or
we
rather
did.
it be 2 albums split into 2, or 1 album split into 2, which might
We have a
happen as
few
well.
ideas that we can run with depending on how many tracks we finally get, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, like here's the thing. So I tell you what, will we take a track and come back?
Yes, that's what we'll do. You tell
Okay.
me. We're gonna take one more track and then we're gonna end.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So shit, the Dublin scene is great. Cork scene is amazing. I have a lot of friends in both, and I have a lot of love for everyone. Pretty much in general, man. Like I work with anybody. I think you're all great. But in Cork specifically, there's some great musicians there. Holy shit, you know. And one of them is Red Sun Alert, right? Young ones and young fellas absolutely killing it, right?
yeah,
Post-hardcore band, made up of members of God Alone, who are a spectacular band,
yes,
but also fronted by Julia, who is on Aiseiri and wrote probably one of my favorite tracks on the actual record itself, Morrigan. She sings on it, incredible. And if you haven't checked out Red Sun Alert, do. Their stuff is brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
you know,
And you know, it's cool because like I remember like being younger and that scene wasn't there, and now the fact that there are younger people picking it up and running with it and doing great
yeah,
things, it's cool for me. Like, yeah, okay, right, I'm not that old, but I remember being, you know, 18, 19, 20,
of
22,
course,
whatever. There was no scene,
yeah.
nothing, you know, there wasn't, and now there is, and it's class. And not only is it there, but it's been picked up and amazing songwriters. So if you
Yeah.
haven't checked out Red Sun Alert, do, because they are a fantastic post-hardcore band.
Well, we're gonna
One of
check
Cork's
them out
finest.
now. We are gonna check them out now, man. So that was Red Sun Alert. Yeah, Jesus, you were right. Great fucking band. Fucking
Telling you,
hell.
man. Telling you, the talent is out of this world, you know,
Yeah.
and it's great. Like, you know, you throw a dart at one county in Ireland, and it's going to be 4 bands that jump out that are great. And
Yeah.
it's, like at the end of the day, the goal of the All Ireland Metal Project is to get the light of the world onto Ireland as a, because it's weird, like with Horrenda, they'd be like, oh, there's metal in Ireland here. Yeah. It's class, because obviously that goes out to different scenes and goes out to the different parts of the world that listen to that genre of music.
Yeah.
And the goal of this album, Ashuri, and the All Ireland Metal Project in general, is to get a light on our scene and not only make it better, but really kind of pull it together as what it is. No, because we are hella small, dude. We are a small country.
Small, yeah.
We're a small country. We're about the size of, I think it's what, like New Jersey or something.
Yeah,
New Jersey,
something like that. Yeah.
wild, right? So we can actually pull together. We can actually come together and meet everybody. We can work together on tracks. We can, all this kind of stuff. So our smallness is our unique factor as well. And that's the goal of this for me. It's that, even just say it isn't a yearly thing and someone picks it up in 10 years and they're like, oh, do you remember the time they did that? Yeah, it was crazy. Let's do another one.
Yeah.
That would be a success for me.
Absolutely.
But also, for going along and, bands come out of, or as you said, the infrastructure's there now where someone's not afraid to post a riff and go, hey, look, I was going to do this, post it on my Bandcamp or something. Because that's what the Yanks do. That's what happens in America. They have their DIY scene. Well, how did their DIY scene start? Well, they made it.
Well, here's the great thing now as well. Look, we have the Ashuri socials, and they'll always be there. So, I mean, if you're watching this, there is an actual Ashuri page that people can join, isn't it? There is.
There's a group, but the group is private for the time being.
Do we not have like an actual artist page?
So we have a Facebook page. We do. We have and if you go to All Ireland Metal Project on Facebook, that's the Facebook socials.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking is, after this album is done, because the infrastructure's there, obviously the socials aren't going anywhere, but the group will remain. It'll just be reopened for the, as needed.
Yeah, exactly.
But for the time being, it's private because you don't want people going in. It has to be, because it's production, right? So that's why it's there. But
I think we'll wrap up because we're probably bending too many years for too long at this stage.
Man, I could talk. You and me could talk for.
We could talk for and it's always great to just sit down and have a chat about music with you. It really is. Always was.
I appreciate it.
And I was.
As I said, you're like the Chris Jericho podcast of Irish metal podcast, because
thanks.
You get it, man. Like, it's such a cool experience to sit down and just chat with you, and when you say stuff like about gigging and being burned out, and you just get it, man. Like, every musician who's been in bands for as long as we have get that, and it's something you don't have to explain. So, I hope anyone who's listening to this as well, like, gets the positivity. This is all a positive thing. This isn't an ego thing. This isn't it for you, mate. It isn't, right?
No,
it's not, right? It's more like, I just wanted this to happen. And don't get me wrong. Look, the 3 panic attacks that I had during this, wasn't, there's other things I could do for an ego boost rather than this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have my own band, I have my own thing to do this, but I wanted to get this done. I wanted to give people this infrastructure, this thing we can build, and we have made so much money for charity already.
Already, and nothing's been released yet.
No, nothing's been released. Thanks to the company I work for and their great support. We're on track. I think after Saturday we smashed the $500 goal.
Wow.
So that's $500 already directly to Bernardo's.
That's only one goal, by the way. That's not the whole goal.
No, that's just the one goal that is time that we can, get as a direct donation.
That's
before
perfect.
we sell anything. So the plan going forward now, man, our surprises, they're going to be released. There's a chance to give money with those. We merch, bundles, and then obviously the actual album itself, which will be all over the place. There's going to be opportunity to listen to this, to give more money. And look, at the end of the day, none of this money is going to us. It's going literally to Bernardo. It's going to help kids. We've already got like email, like Bernardo's have been phenomenal with their support of us, along with our sponsors like Red Bull and Flex Ireland and and all that kind of stuff. Like, they've been great, but Bernardo specifically have really also the amount of Red Bull we went through on Saturday was ridiculous.
And
Well,
I
not
couldn't
you,
drink it. I
not
couldn't
you.
drink a drop of it.
Oh, we didn't let you. We all were like, no, Carl, you're not drinking any of it. No, we weren't allowed this. So the amount of Red Bull that was consumed on Saturday was ridiculous. But you know, their willingness to support us was phenomenal, greatly
Yeah.
appreciated. But Bernardo's have been great from day one, and you know, anyone who's listening to this, you have made a difference. Your support of this project has made a difference already,
Yeah.
and it will. You know, my goal is to make a couple of grand for these folks. So, you know, kids, and remember, as bad as we had it during COVID-19 or whatever. Sorry if you got demonetized in this or that, but as bad as we had it, there were kids in situations that you would never want to be in.
Yeah.
Ever. And they shouldn't have to be. And we're trying to make that a little bit better. So, look, if nothing else, man, that I can sleep easy knowing that we're helping change that.
Absolutely. And I think that's a beautiful way to end tonight's show. It really is, man. I'm going to just say it once more. You are an inspiration. I know that sounds fucking... No, man, the direction that you're bringing this in is... And yeah, I know you said you have a team behind you, but we wouldn't be able to do it without you. So I'm sure I say this for everyone that's involved. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Man, I just made a spreadsheet.
Yeah, but you love your spreadsheet. I mean, I could ask you to do a spreadsheet about this, and you would, like, so.
Oh yeah, well, I'll give it a good go anyway. Right?
You know, you would.
Man, look, I do appreciate that, and look, at the end of the day, I think from my reaction, from people's reaction to this, they needed it, we needed it, but also we did a lot of good. Like, what other scene, what other genre has been able to do this, to do something so positive?
Very true.
None.
Very true.
And that's the challenge.
Yeah.
Rock, rap, whatever, go do it.
Dance,
dance, yeah. You know,
Rave,
go and do it. You know, why not do something like that yourself? No, the metalheads do it.
The smelly ones, yeah.
The smelly ones, the smelly rockers, right? We go and do
it. As we always say, like, we're a big family, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you look at it. I mean, I was interviewing a guy on Saturday who was a year older than my daughter, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And he's got so much talent that's unbelievably not even tapped yet.
No, it's unbelievable, man.
You know,
but like, that's the thing, you know, I met people who are older than me, met people who are younger than me, met people my same age, and we're all there with the same goal, to make this happen, to grow as a scene, to actually be a family that supports each other rather than pulls each other down, or, you know, all that kind of crap, because that's been done, and look where that got us.
So look, me and Hoytum, who's in my project.
Oh man, he told me some stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, me and him have been in the scene for over 20 years, maybe longer, and we would have seen how it was before, and to see him, because I've been, as you know, I've immersed myself in the Irish metal scene in the last 4 or 5 years, in terms of outside of my band as well, you know, and loving what I'm seeing and supporting as best I can. So to see Hoytum interacting with people of different genres, you know, and he's a legend. Yeah, he is legendary. He is, in my opinion, he's the best vocalist in the country.
Oh, man, so what I've heard from that stuff, it blows my mind. Josh said to me very early on, I'm doing a track with Hoytum. It's a career goal.
Yeah.
Or dream goal or something like that. I was like, holy crap.
When I got him interested, that was the thing. Get him interested, then get onto a track with him. Yeah. You know? So it's just great. All the different people from around the genres and the ages and all. It's a great feeling to see everybody.
But isn't it cool though? Like, no matter where they're from, no matter who they are, no matter all this kind of stuff, they all came together, which is what it should be. You know, like, I think it's cool the fact that, look, obviously, you know, I'm really good friends with Josh, because, you know, doing an album with somebody and just kind of hanging out, we're very similar as well, like with humor and that. So, but that said, bringing him on this project, I didn't think he would get so involved because he's a busy guy, right?
Very involved.
His business is to do this kind of stuff. So he jumped in very involved. You know, I said, there's other lads I didn't know before this at all. Never met them.
Yeah.
Didn't think
So
they'd get it so involved, and they're killing it. They're doing a great job, you know, and they're sound lads.
yeah.
And the list goes on and on and on. There's people who I just literally never ever met or didn't get the
Yeah.
opportunity or like that. It's, you know, it was funny. Like even when I was sitting there, because you know I was really busy on Saturday, because you and Lisa were doing most of the interviews, and Angel obviously was the shooting. Even Angel, man, like
Yeah.
he is a busy guy, and obviously
Yeah.
me and Angel are incredibly good friends. But when I said to him, he goes, "Oh, absolutely, I was waiting for you to ask."
Wow.
Yeah, he said to me, literally, "I was waiting for you to ask me when I heard about this." I was like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." And you know, people are working for free. They're not
Yeah.
taking money. They're working for free,
And it's all
and,
appreciated.
and
It's
it's all
so
appreciated.
appreciated.
You know, like this documentary, man. Like, yeah, the album is unreal. The documentary has a whole other element to it.
Yeah.
You know, why are we doing it? Well, let's see what the Americans and Canadians think about the Irish metal scene.
Yeah.
You know, let's let them know what we're doing. Let's let them know that there is a scene here.
And
So
it's
that's where
not
I'm
just
thinking.
it's not just a Dublin scene or a
No,
Cork scene. It's an
no,
Irish metal scene.
it can't be. It can't be a Northern Irish and an Irish thing.
No,
We are one
it's the
island.
All Ireland Metal Project.
Absolutely. And even people message me going, "Hey, I'm not from Ireland. Can I be on?" Like, do you live here? And you're fucking on it. You
Absolutely.
know, that's it. You know,
Absolutely.
it's that kind of thing. You know, and the fact that that was even a thing that had to be asked, I'm like, fuck that, man. You
That
know,
won't
it's
have
like
to, it won't have to be in the future, man. People
no,
will know that they're welcome here. You know.
everyone is welcome, and that's the important thing to take away. You know, it's like as much good as it's doing for charity, which I assure you, it's doing good. Bernard, like it was really hard to pick a charity
It
for
was.
to
Yeah.
be honest with you, and Bernardo's are probably the best ones there for this. But also, you know, what I hope we get from this, as far as like a scene, that there is that kind of element of you're not afraid to ask for collaboration. You're not afraid to join. You're not afraid because at the end of the day, you know, one of the things that really struck me about two things. One, Matt Heafy inspired pretty much the entire Irish metal scene at my age group, which is
Yeah.
wild. But also, everyone came to metal at the same time, give or take. Everybody came to metal because they were picked on or they were excluded or whatever. And it always felt weird that a group of people who were the picked on people who picked up music because it was their, you know, refuge, decided to pick on other people because they
Yeah.
didn't listen, because they weren't X, Y, and Z. I'm like, that's fucking stupid.
I
So
know.
never made sense to me. Never. But
So
there we
look,
go.
let's leave it at that for now, and people keep watching KingWoes Court. Keep looking at all of our socials, because we have the mother of all loads for you coming with this album.
Oh man,
We
like,
really do.
look, we can't hide. Look, we said it on the documentary, right? But that was before we dropped the tracks.
Yeah.
And now we're dropping tracks, and it's backing up claims we're making.
Yeah.
Carl and myself are not bullshit. Well, Carl's not a bullshitter.
You're not a bullshitter. Fuck that.
But you know, what Carl says is pretty much the way it is. He has no reason to bullshit. You
To my
know,
detriment at times.
sure, look, it's better to be that way than a bullshitter. But anyway, he is telling the truth, and we're not even done yet. We haven't even heard all the tracks yet.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you guys, you know, if this is what you want, if this is what you think is going to be cool, I assure you it's going to blast out all the expectations, because you don't even know what's coming. You don't even know what's coming. I don't even know what's coming.
I do.
Yeah.
But look, Darragh, thanks so much for coming onto the court today.
Anytime, man.
It's been a pleasure.
Anytime.
And I'm sure we'll do it again sometime.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and this is the thing with the court, you know, it's, you know, Carl's the main man, you know. I'm grateful that for everything you've done, and the way the year started, man, it was scary, you know. I'll never forget that, you know, and obviously you won't, but all the lads in Horrenda were all like fucking devastated, you know. So it's great just to have you around, man, and it's a great pleasure to work with you, and also
Absolutely.
I always come on the show.
Thank you very much. Anyway, KingWoes Court, we are out of here.